Hello everyone, I'm Yamino, the artist of Sister Claire, and I'm joined tonight by...
The one, the only, the incredible, the indelible Ash Barnes. I write the missing moments and I help Eleanor write the comic.
The comic.
The comic. The comic. How's everybody doing tonight? Seems like lots of people are good.
Good.
Hi, Jamie.
Hello. Hey Jamie, by the way, I've seen your latest message on Patreon. I'm sorry I took a long time to reply. I will reply to it soon. I just want to let you know you're not being ignored. I'm sorry.
I have also seen your requests and rest assured they will be satisfied. That didn't sound like Hamilton at all, like I intended it. That's okay.
Satisfied.
You will never be satisfied. God, hope you're
Satisfied. Never gonna be president now.
Never gonna be president now.
I wish. Still trying to find the best pose here. In case you were wondering, the picture that I will be drawing first is going to be, well, all of the pictures tonight, if I can get to more than one, are going to be Steven Universe related because I'm doing some fan art for Katsucon.
Yeah, speaking of which, next weekend we are going to be in National Harbor, Maryland for Katsucon.
So please come see us.
Please come see us.
And if you are a connoisseur of these live draws, you may also recognize another familiar voice who will be joining us. Sarah will be there.
Sarah will be joining us at Katsucon.
Lemon Lamb in the chat.
Lemon Lamb in the chat.
Lemon Lamb in the chat. But the first picture I'm going to draw is going to be Rose and Pearl, and they're going to be dancing the tango. And I'm still undecided which pose I like. I'm kind of a fan of this one. I also like the ones with the dip. There's two songs I always hear in my head when I look at pictures or videos of tango, and that's either the Tango de Roxanne from Moulin Rouge or the Tango Maureen. She cheated, Maureen cheated,
Fucking cheated.
I'm defeated, I should give up right now.
Gotta look on the bright side with all of your might.
I'd fall for her still anyhow. We are hopping all over.
Yeah, we are. I have a sore throat and I'm over here singing.
Okay, sorry. My bad. When you're dancing her dance, you don't stand a chance. Her grip over romance makes you fall. Ooh. Ooh. Let's both stop right where we're at.
Oh, come on. People like it.
We both have sore throats.
Don't you love it, chat, when we sound discordant as all hell? It's like...
No, that's Zeke.
Oh, that's true.
That's our dachshund when he sees a squirrel. God, I can't decide which one. I had the perfect picture earlier. Maybe it was under salsa dancing. I tried looking up just salsa, and that was dumb because this is what came up. Salsa dancing. Oh my God, this one.
Oh, Lord.
I think I like the tango pictures a little more. I think I like this one. Surely there's a bigger version somewhere. When you're dancing her dance, you don't stand a chance. Oh my God, Laura, that Kristen Stewart Totino sketch. Everybody has been talking about it.
I was watching it in my office.
She's the one everybody talking about.
I was watching that the other day in my office, and my boss came in and saw me watching it, and I was like, okay, Lori, I know I'm not supposed to be watching this at work, but you have to see it. And by the end of it, we were both crying with laughter.
Dance a tango to hell. At least I'll have tangoed it all. The tango maureen. It's a dark, dizzy merry-go-round as she leaves you dangling.
You're wrong.
Your heart she is mangling. It's different with me. No, none of the rose quartz character sheets have pictures of her feet.
They're fat.
Hey, I'll give 10 points to anybody who can quickly find me a reference picture, even a screenshot of Rose's feet. Go.
Just look up Steven's feet. They're the same shape. Like, she doesn't have ankles, really.
I'm
They're
sure
the kind of feet that you like. You sound like Zeke.
This is also so low res. Why? Why did they do this? Wow, her hair was really messy in the 80s.
Yep.
10 points to Cephalopod Queen.
See, I told you.
10 points to Cumber Pie. Both of you win.
What did you call them? Cumber pie? Cucumber pie.
Cucumber Pie. Cumber Pie. Sorry.
What did you
The
say?
text
earlier?
is tiny.
You said, oh, we were in the car earlier, and Elena was like, you know, it could be one of the
No, don't show my shame.
one of the Oslin twins. I was like, one of the what now? Do you mean Olsen twins? And she was like, whatever, they're not the same thing.
It's the same. Whatever.
Cumber pie.
Cumber Pie.
Cucumber pie, I promise we are more fond of you than that.
It's been a long week, Cumber Pie. It's a nickname, you know? Like, people call me Yams.
I think that is the most precious thing.
If I'm Yams, other people can be Cumber Pie.
My name's already so short. It's like, come on. Please don't try to abbreviate Ash.
Ass. I can't. One less letter.
What?
As, not ass. As.
I am holding
Or ah.
I am holding this oral relief spray shit. I will spray it all upon you, I swear. I'm right here. It's cherry flavored. Great. The whole chat is going, Ass Barnes! Look what you've done.
You're the one who's yamming ass.
You've drawn a circle. Come on. Get with the program.
Well, I'm done. This is my turn for Katsukan. It was a good live stream, y'all. Bye. Really? Oh, no wonder this tastes like butthole. There's only one sugar in here.
God. Laura said, oh my God, Ash, I just imagined what your name would look like in Brazilian diminutive. What would it look like? I am very curious.
What's Brazilian diminutive?
Laura can explain.
Is that like cutesy Brazilian?
Or probably like, yeah, I'm going to go with yes.
Okay.
Oh, she says it with a focus.
Ashina. Ashina.
From over here, it looks like acid.
God!
My brain autocorrects, I'm sorry. Let's see. I'm having trouble working out these proportions.
Oh. I still maintain that the funniest thing anyone has ever called me in person was Miss Lightning, Miss Lightning, at one of the first cons I ever went to. That was so sweet. And I somehow knew they were talking to me. Someone called me Summer once as well. I'm like, do I look like a Summer? Do I look?
Do I look?
Are you going to draw her in a white dress?
Yeah, I was thinking of it because it looks very similar to this one.
I was just thinking people tend to like color in prints, but so might as well. I've got that song in my head now.
At least I'll have tangoed at all.
What was the story I told last time that made me like cry laugh? Oh, it was the chipmunk climbing the guy. That's right.
She ever parted her lips and called you Pookie? Never. Have you ever doubted a kiss or two? This is spooky. What did you just think about, Lara? Can you read it? Because I can't see it right now.
Laura says, Rose looks exactly the same in the answer as she does now. Do you think she was never poofed?
Which one is the answer? And she's not around now. What do you mean?
I can't remember the episode titles. Or like what titles go with what.
Recap. Which one is the answer? What happens in that one? Sorry, I'm a bad fan.
Oh, the first time Garnet formed. Oh, I should know that. I should really know that.
She looks the same in that as when?
As present day.
Huh.
I think it's possible that she was never poofed, but I also think that we saw Amethyst be poofed multiple times, and she came back kind of the same, didn't she? And Pearl didn't, actually. Did I just lie? Or did I just...
I think that when, in that episode where we see Amethyst come back a lot of times, I don't remember if she's wearing like a different, totally unique outfit every time. Mostly they were emphasizing showing how mangled she was. Like how she was rushing it, and so she would come out weirdly proportioned. But then when she finally comes back normally, then she does have a slightly tweaked outfit. It's symmetrical. Remember, Pearl is like, oh, this is so much better. It's not asymmetrical anymore.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. That is an excellent observation, Lara. Interesting. What size is this print going to be?
8.5 by 11.
Will it be able to be a big one too?
I can make it a big one.
Like, I think if you do the stars and the background and stuff, like the sky gradient, that could be cool.
Mm-hmm. I can't see the chat.
I'm keeping an eye on it.
Okay.
People are talking about Steven Universe, predictably. Keep in mind, everyone, that you can ask us questions if you like. If you have any questions for the artiste, I will pass them along.
Mm-hmm.
Rope Reptile says, so, a general question about coloring in real life. What do you do when you don't have a marker of the color that you need?
You're asking the wrong person.
Elena goes buys more markers.
Many millions of years ago, I used to draw with colored pencil. And more recently, I got Copics, which you can blend together to make different colors a little bit. But I don't know if those are the kind of markers you're using.
Little Hiding Po asks, will you be going to Katsucon next week? Oh, yes. Yes, we will. And we'll be happy to see you there. That really hurts my throat. We'll probably be doing a meetup, right, Alana?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, should Pearl be holding her hat, or should we assume it's super glued to her head?
I don't know. I think she should be holding it. That's a little more dynamic. What do you think? You could also have it falling off. No? Okay.
No. I mean, how? Just drawing it here like this, it kind of ruins the flow. I could try to have her.
Laura says, I had a question. The last page, Rosie's face when the wolf sibs reunite. Why does she look so tense? Is she thinking about Oscar? About Claire?
Rosie's been tense for a while. She's not feeling very good right now.
That's a really good observation, though, Laura.
It is.
You know, Elena was just talking to me this morning about how, why haven't more people noticed that Rosie's been tense lately? That's kind of important.
That she's really upset.
Calandra said, okay, I have a feeling this question has been asked, but thoughts on the Stephen Bomb? So many emotions.
Yeah.
Did we see all the episodes?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I thought we did. Do you have things?
If I do, there would be in these pockets.
Boy, I get to go rifling through Ellen's pockets looking for gently used Kleenex. There's one. What did you think of the Stephen Bomb, Elena?
I really liked it. I especially liked the episodes where they went to the human zoo.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good, really well done. It was really cool to see the other Jaspers, or the other amethysts, I mean.
I also really like the new song, Calandra. The What's the Point of Feeling Blue? I really like that one. You know, I've only seen that episode once. The Stephen Bomb is kind of a blur for me. I'm trying to remember when we watched it.
We watched it when Cartoon Network leaked it on... I call it a leak because it's not really a leak when it's officially the company doing it, but it kind of sucks for the crew. But we watched it when it first came out.
Were we home?
Mm-hmm. We watched it at home.
Okay.
What can I do for you? Oh, God, that smells so bad.
What?
The medicine.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Are you using it constantly?
No. Rainy2 says, someone made a fan theory that Rose was made to be a zookeeper of the human zoo, and I'm so in love with that theory. I've seen that too, and I think it raises a lot of really interesting observations.
I have not heard this before. What's the reasoning for that?
Just
because they have other quartzes guarding it.
Not necessarily that, although that maybe that's one of the points. I skimmed the theory today while I was embroiled in something else, but her mannerisms when talking to humans, especially when she's talking to Greg, um, like talking about how she doesn't have time to play with him and stuff. It's interesting.
That's kind of gross then if you think about it like bestiality. If that's how she saw it. It would explain Pearl's attitude.
Sorry, I was looking at.
If anybody can help me find a picture of her face from the side, like in profile like this, that would also be appreciated. I'm looking now. We don't actually see the characters in total profile super often. Remember back when everybody thought that Rose was blind because her eyes were closed in the pictures? I still think that was a cool theory. Oh, thank you, Jamie. That's perfect. It was Jamie who said that, right? Yes, thank you. What's wrong, Ish?
I was looking at hotels for Katsukan.
I don't know why, but I've usually found Rose to be one of the hardest characters to draw.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I think maybe I'm just not used to drawing her.
Mm-hmm.
But she's a little bit more complicated than like Garnet or Pearl, who are made of really simple, basic shapes. Something I've always found really hard to draw about Steven and Rose and any characters with that kind of nose is not making them look like pigs, because the way that they draw them is like, you know, like this, and then there's just two lines, like you're always looking straight up their nose. And Somehow when the animators draw it, it doesn't look so noticeable, but I feel like whenever I do it, it looks really weird and noticeable.
Lara says, what was the thought process of letting all the really kick-ass nuns go running off after Claire and company, leaving Mercy unprotected? Did Mother Yolanda assume they'd be back quicker? Yes, I'm pretty sure she did assume that they would be back a lot faster. Something I think we're going to do, like we are nearing the end of book 2, only a few more pages left. We're going to take a few weeks to deal with Kickstarter-y stuff and also revamp a couple parts of book 2. Nothing near like the revamp we did of book 1, but still some tweaks here and there. And Elena and I were discussing how to make that scene a little bit clearer. The scene where the nuns leave the abbey. And I think that'll be one of the things we tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes on the first pass through, things aren't as clear as they could be. And we have the fortune to be able to go back and edit things a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people get mad at the idea of retconning, but I don't think we're going to retcon anything. I think we're just gonna, clarify stuff.
Sister, clarify it. Oh God, I sound like Sarah. That's such a Sarah thing to do.
It is. Seppi said, Sister Clarity. We're doing our best. I found a hotel for like $80 a night, and it's only 10 minutes from the cot.
Wow. What are the ratings? Does people get shot there? Or?
No, it looks it's only got 2 stars.
Oh God, Ash, please. We deserve better.
I'll see what I can do.
Probably like infested with cockroach rats,
Cockroach
which are
rats.
cockroaches that are the size of rats.
Great.
It's like an avatar creature.
Seppi said, cock rats.
Wow, I really could have gone without that visual. Thanks.
Seppi, if you could have seen the face that Elena just made.
It was like this.
That was Elena's face in response to cock rats. Oh, I feel bad for Michaela, who just came in to hear that.
Sorry, Michaela.
I'm just looking for places to stay. That's all. Ah, there's a place called Chocoville.
What? We're already staying there.
Yeah, I know.
What can I do for you? It's a good thing I have practiced drawing this kind of hair. I got very anxious when the episodes of Steven Universe aired that started to really talk about Rose. Because I was like, damn, that sounds a lot like Clementine. Damn, she even looks like her. Rose looks like the cute fairy tale version of Clementine that the witches like to imagine.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Jamie says, anyone see the new season of Voltron? An episode had a fun number of anime references. I have seen all of the new season, Jamie, and I think it is excellent.
When did you see all of that?
I just told you about it today when I was with Ryan.
I thought that you had already seen. I thought you watched it with Ryan when you saw a different season.
I mean, I've seen both seasons with Ryan. Like, the first one last year, and then this most recent season this year when I went to visit him. I really love Voltron. Yeah, Jamie's Space Mall is such a fun episode. That's the episode I was telling you about earlier today, Elena.
Ash was telling me a little bit about Voltron today because I have not watched it. And she told me about Pidge. And I'm kind of insulted that nobody has sent this to me and been like, look, this character looks like you. Because when I had shorter hair, I looked just like that. With the glasses and the buttercup.
Yeah, a little bit.
The androgyny. It me.
Pidge does not really remind me that much of you.
I don't know about their personality, but I mean just appearance-wise. Oh, where's that picture of Pearl I had up? Oh, where you go? Did I close it? Oh, it must have been here. Oh, somebody's already done it.
Yeah. Rainy2 is asking who my favorite paladin is. Or probably that was a general question, but I'm trying to think. I really like all of the paladins a lot. You're probably expecting me to say Pidge, and I really like Pidge, but there's something that's kind of endearing about all of them. I think Lance is probably my least favorite, but that doesn't mean I dislike him at all. I don't. I just think if I had to pick, he would not be the top of my list. But I do even find him endearing. I like Keith a lot. I think he is very driven. Shiro is precious. I like Hunk, but I wish they didn't always attach the whole, really obsessed with food to the fat character. I don't even really consider him fat so much as big. But it's obvious that the show wants you to think that he is the fat character. And there's a lot of comic relief surrounding him, and it always seems to be that character that they choose to harp on with that. I'm trying to think. I think my favorite paladin, I think it's a tie between Keith and Pidge. Yeah. I really like Keith. But my favorite character in the entire show is Allura, because she's amazing. Ooh. Seppi has given me some art recommendations because these people do Voltron. Oh, yes.
Some what recommendations? Oh, art.
Art. Yeah. I like them already.
God, I hate drawing hats.
I think Voltron is a very interesting show in that I like all of the characters. I mean, not the ultra evil ones, but I like all of the main characters, I suppose I should say. Rogue Reptile's asking thoughts on the bathroom joke. I thought that was really cute. I thought it could be interpreted multiple ways. And, I'm not a trans or non-binary person, but I thought that it would be pretty hard to take offense at it. I thought it was just a nice, gentle kind of joke. I liked it. How do you say his name? Is it Karan? Karan? Karan. I think it's Karan. I really like him too. I was really expecting to dislike him when he, manifested in the first season, but the more he shows up, the more I'm just so endeared to him. He is a big doofus, but he is extraordinarily capable and really cares about all of them so much, and I like the show a lot. I really want Ella to watch it.
I will watch it.
Someone did one of the characters from Voltron as a pony.
Oh.
It's cute. I do like this artist a lot, Seppi. Thank you for the recommendation. Just in general, I was not expecting to like Voltron. It didn't strike me as something that I would be interested in, giant robot cats and the whole Transformers vibe. I wasn't that interested. But when I went to visit my friend Ryan, he insisted. And I watched the first episode, and I have to admit, the first episode did not hook me. It interested me, but I could have stopped watching it and never looked back, But he said, let's try the next one. And we did, and I was like, okay, sold. Gotta know what happens. This is good.
I think when was the episode that got you really invested in Steven Universe? I know which one it was for me.
Giant Woman.
Yeah, same. I think I was pretty okay about the show up until then. I was like, oh, this is cute. I don't know if it's going to be like one of my top faves, but I have nothing better to do. I'll watch it. Mm-hmm. And then when we got to Giant Woman, I was like, oh my god, I love this. This is looking really queer. I'm excited for the rest of it. Mm-hmm. I felt like when the whole fusion thing was introduced, it kind of changed everything for me. I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to see what they do with this.
To me, that felt like the first real world-building episode.
Yeah, that.
Before that, it had seemed kind of like hijinksy, and I thought it was, well-drawn and cute and everything, but I wasn't hooked. And then Giant Woman happened, and I was like, wow, I need more of this.
Patty and told Finger to doubt her. What does it matter? It's already done. Now I've got to be there for her son. It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it over? It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it over? You won, and she chose you, and she loved you, and she's gone. It's over, isn't it? Why can't I move on? I love that song, even though it's so sad.
Proxy's asking, oh, Ash and Eleanor, have you had a chance to watch Star versus the Forces of Evil?
Yeah, we watched a bit of it. We didn't watch a ton. There was a certain point where I felt like, okay, this is a little bit below my
threshold.
I didn't feel like the target audience. I felt like the target audience was maybe a couple decades younger than me. But there were definitely parts of it that I really enjoyed, and I've heard that it has also some like queer stuff in it, or like that Marco is easily readable as trans or something like that, which I thought was really cool.
I would have been willing to watch more of it. Elena wasn't super into it, and I wasn't either, but I would have kept watching it. But yeah, it definitely didn't hook me the way I was hoping it would, because I remember when I saw the opening.
It was catchy.
On Tumblr, yeah, I was obsessed.
And I was really excited by American TV show that was very obviously super influenced by Sailor Moon and stuff like that.
I still read a lot of interviews with the creator and stuff. Like, I follow her on Tumblr. I think I follow her on Twitter too, maybe. But I'm not very active on Twitter, though. I need to work on that.
You need to work on that, girl.
I know. But she seems like a really cool person, and I would be willing to give Star versus the Forces of Evil another go. I'll tell you, and this may disappoint some people listening, a show that I tried watching several times and could not get into, and I really wanted to because it has such a huge following, Gravity Falls.
Mm.
I tried so hard and I just couldn't see what people were so interested in. I also tried watching Over the Garden Wall, and I was told that we watched like what, 4 episodes of it?
Something like, I can't remember how many.
And it was not, I mean, it was beautiful, don't get me wrong.
To me, the only thing that interested me from what we had watched was that the backgrounds were gorgeous, but I didn't really care for anything else about it. And I felt bad because, like, so many people I knew and whose opinions I really trust, they loved it, and I really did not see the appeal. And apparently, according to some people we've talked to, the episode that we finally were like, oh, I can't do this anymore, is an episode that a lot of people don't like. But it was kind of the last straw for us. It was the one where there's a teacher and she's singing and there's a lot of animals, and I was like, okay, this is giving me SpongeBob vibes. I can't. Like, I'm 30 years old. I can't do this anymore.
Well, at the time, we were not that old. You were 28 and I was 27.
29.
But we tried. And I'm of the opinion that a show's first episode does not have to be excellent, but its second, third, and fourth episode should show marked improvement, and to me that did not.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me feel as though I had wasted my time. I felt as though the storytelling was going at a pace that was all over the place, and I really did not appreciate it, and therefore I stopped watching it, and I still have not finished watching it.
I'm glad that it resonated a lot for other people. We see our viewer count suddenly drop.
I mean, it's not as though I thought that Gravity Falls was bad. I don't think Over the Garden Wall was bad because so many people liked it, but I do feel as though it wasn't the show for me.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like something, like from all the, as my dad would have said, advertisements. From all the advertisements about Over the Garden Wall, I was really excited about it. It seemed like something right up my alley, and I felt personally disappointed that it, in fact, was not. I was like,
I think I didn't feel disappointed so much as kind of unsure where the appeal was for other people who normally seem to always like the same stuff I do, and I think, I just don't know. I don't think I was the target audience for whatever they were doing with that. And like you said, Ash, that doesn't make it bad. It just, obviously it's not bad if it has such a huge following. It's just not paying on our specific radar. And that's okay.
What's very odd is when I end up liking something that Elena doesn't or isn't interested in. I feel very weird with Voltron because I like it so much, and it's really not up Elena's alley.
Well, I haven't watched it, to be fair.
I mean, to like just the concept in general isn't up your alley. It's
if there's like very few girls in something, already it loses so many points of my interest. So.
And that's fair. Like, you have every right to pick and choose what kind of media you really want to consume, especially considering, like, sometimes various readers or viewers will give us a bit of grief for not giving something more of a chance or not trying it out. And it's like, look, darling, we have got full-time jobs and 4 animals and lots of stuff going on. We have to pick and choose very carefully what we, give our leisure time to. And if something doesn't work out in pretty short order, we drop it like it's hot and we move on to something else. And it makes sense to me why, Elena doesn't really, or at least has not yet been chomping at the bit to watch Voltron. it so far, Vicky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like. Oh, something occurred to me. Rather than having Pearl wear that and look like Lady Gaga, why don't you have her holding it?
She's already holding her hat,
I know, but it looks kind of like Dirk Strider sunglasses.
Yeah.
What?
It does look a bit silly.
A little bit.
I had thought about giving Rose these like big buns too, and just like totally removing these here and just giving her like the two.
Oh, that's cute as hell. I worry people wouldn't recognize her. Her big sausage curls are such
so signature for her.
Yeah. Did you just like?
I gave her an ass, Ash.
No, I meant.
Ash.
Did you just take away all of her curls? Like you can undo and get them back, right?
Yeah, no. This is on a separate layer.
Oh, okay.
Nobody. What do you think, though? Should I?
No, she looks like Minnie Mouse.
Yeah.
I think you could give her hair ornaments up there instead.
Do you think I should just entirely give up on it being a Sailor Moon crossover? Because, like I said, from the side, it's a lot harder to tell that it's supposed to be them. I mean, I can give her the curls and also give her these things.
I think something that would
and
help.
I can take this away from Pearl.
I think
but then it just looks a little silly. Like I feel like if you're gonna do a cosplay parody, you gotta go all the way, or people are gonna be confused.
I think that rather than the flowy white dress, I feel like you could use a fuku. But then again,
I really think the white dress suits her way
You're
more,
right.
and it looks more her style.
You're right. Ask the chat. What do they think? Oh, Seppi says, put roses in her hair.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thought.
I was originally going to have Pearl, like, holding a rose here. I don't know, though. I think Rosie. I think Rose just looks a little silly with these. Maybe I'll just, like, give her her own, like, fancy attire and let Pearl be fancy and not make it a Sailor Moon crossover. I love the Sailor Moon crossover so much, but it's not really looking good. I mean, I guess I could give her tinier buns. Maybe it's because they're so huge that it looks kind of stupid.
Give her little ones.
It just doesn't really match without. What if I do this? What if I take away these ones that are on her shoulder?
Well, I liked those.
I know, but it doesn't quite. I'm just trying it out. And this way, too, I could see her dress a little more. If I was going to give her the Usagi dress, this thing, you could actually see it. I still think these look ridiculous on her. Like, the whole point is that there's supposed to be buns holding her things up, but if her hair is not in that style, it doesn't really make any sense.
Mm-hmm. How long of a drive do we want home to the con?
2 seconds.
I don't know, as short as possible without sacrificing a ton of mental health from the quality of the hotel. I would say I'm willing to drive up to 20 minutes if it's for a decently priced, good hotel. I mean, it's not like we're going to have to be bringing heavy stuff there every day, you know, as long as we wake up in time. People are suggesting bridal wear. Lara wants her to wear a bridal outfit. So is the chat kind of agreeing that I should ditch the Sailor Moon crossover idea?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the worst. I know, Ash, I also really like the Sailor Moon crossover. But I think it'll look better. I don't know how to draw bridal things. I'm overwhelmed with options. I don't know what to do. How could I modify her existing outfit, which is already kind of bridal looking? It's got the ruffles. A lot of the outfit is covered by her hair, so there's not a lot that I could do.
Nikki's here. Hi, Nikki.
Hi.
Debola said, I think Stephen and Connie would make a good Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask, respectively. Oh, we have plans already for Stephen and Connie.
Yeah, I had a different anime reference in mind for them.
You're gonna like it. After the stream, dear, let's talk about places to stay.
Okay.
I don't want to try to book anything while we're streaming.
Okay.
I wish I didn't have a sore throat.
Me too, baby.
Rokreptil asks, thought on the return of Samurai Jack?
That was never a show that I was really into or watched. Again, as I mentioned before, I'm not super interested in shows that don't feature girls. I thought it was very pretty, but I don't think I've watched more than 2 episodes of it.
I've actually never seen it.
And it was, because I was such a huge fan of the Powerpuff Girls, it was impossible for me not to see it as, like, Japanese professor has samurai adventures. Like,
I have literally never seen any Samurai Jack. It came on at a time that I wasn't able to watch it, and I have never yet found the time to watch it. If y'all think I would like it, I will give it a shot. I've been seeing plenty of people on my feed flip out about the reboot.
I hope they do a better job with it than they did with the Powerpuff Girls reboot. I was not thrilled with that one.
Killandra says, Ash, Yamina, if there was ever a way for Steven to meet Rose without breaking the main status of the universe, what would you want to see? And she clarifies, I mean, not resurrect her, but more if there was a time travel episode. What would you want to see with that on? Do you want me to answer first?
I have no idea. I would just trust the crew to do a good job. I don't really have like any expectation or desire for it. I would love to see what they would do with that. Yeah, go ahead.
I also agree. I would really trust the crew. I think it would really depend at what point in time Steven met Rose. Like, would she already know of his existence? Like, I mean, would she be pregnant is what I'm saying. Would this be when she was still a general in Pink Diamond's arsenal, or if she was a general? She was, wasn't she? Wasn't that mentioned at some point? Or am I just...
I don't remember if they gave her a specific title, but I know that she was meant to be a soldier.
Yeah. So, like, was she still a soldier? Was she yet leading the resistance? Like, many of those things would determine what I wanted to see in the particular instance. What you trying to draw?
Roses. I'm trying to draw in the Steven Universe style.
I'd be very curious in general about that. I would love to see what they did with it. Debla asked, where did it go? I saw a question. Thoughts on Rick and Morty? Never seen it.
All I know about it is that there's like maybe a mad scientist guy and the kid does.
And doesn't he like throw up a lot?
You already know more than I do.
I've heard that. I've heard it's good.
I have literally no idea what it's about, except that it doesn't seem to feature girls, so did not watch. How can I make it more obvious that it's supposed to be bridal? I would give her jewelry, but you won't see it. Like, I feel like a lot of the iconic elements of a bridal gown are in the chest area, but it's totally hidden by her hair. So.
Well, people in the chat earlier were suggesting a veil.
I could give her a veil. How do you...
Cephalopod Queen says, a veil attached to the back of her head.
Mm-hmm.
That would be very pretty. I was just playing with it. So. Elena gave me
I thought you were like gesturing really wildly for me to do something. I'm like, what? And you're just like flipping this Kleenex around.
No. Do you think people will buy a wedding print? Maybe.
Why not?
Jamie said, BRB, the foodening beckons. The foodening. I liked that. I just wrote on myself. That was very sexy right there. Mm-hmm. Can't imagine why anyone would want to be all up on this. Mm-hmm. In regards to Oscar and Catherine, Nikki said, the smooching has recommenced. I am living. I'm so glad you're enjoying it.
Me too.
Rogue Reptile, that's really an interesting thing to say. They said, what I want to see is Claire's reaction to seeing Marguerite again. You'll have to wait for book 3. Sorry. There's only so much we can cram into a reunion scene. But I think you'll find it worth the wait. How you doing, dude?
Doing okay. I don't know that I'm going to have time to do 2 prints tonight.
I think one's a good start.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, Calandra.
Goodbye. It's over, isn't it? Isn't it over? She chose you and she loved you and she's gone.
What the hell?
I was doing the first part where she doesn't go, ah. And she's gone. It's over, isn't it? Why can't I move on?
I've only heard the song once. So. Rogue Reptile is asking if we have any thoughts on Adventure Time Islands, the special. Neither of us watch Adventure Time anymore, and I have heard it's good.
I heard from Ash that Finn meets his mom, which is cool.
And I heard that from my Tumblr feed, so, like, I still follow a couple people who like Adventure Time. I just don't have the mental energy or interest to devote to it anymore. I'm glad that it was good. I haven't seen Stakes yet either. Like, I probably won't watch it. I lost patience with Adventure Time literal years ago. I can't say that I'm ungrateful to the show because of that show, I am where I am today. However, I am what I am.
I am what I am. No, I'm the yam, Ash.
Whatever. Share the potato and the starch.
Okay. actually looking at Pearl. That's a lot better.
Huh?
Nothing, I'm muttering to myself. When I have to zoom in, I can't make sure that Rose is looking where she's supposed to be.
Oh.
So I have to zoom out and check. Is she actually looking at Pearl? It's okay, Ash.
One of my nostrils is engaged in rebellion.
I know, I hate that so much.
People in the chat are talking about Rose and Pearl. Rezatak says, Pearl has done a lot of sacrificing, and I can't help but wonder how much more she can bear. Rez, personally, I think Pearl is so eager to sacrifice some more. I mean, I think she feels like that's what she is for. And I mean, it's obviously something that other characters have a bit of a problem with. But I think Pearl has made that obvious in her song with Connie. In the, the famous line quoted Elena.
Which? Why won't you let me do this for you, Rose?
Yeah. I thought you were going to do your Pearl voice.
Why won't you let me do this for you, Rose? I can't always do Pearl. I'm better at doing her voice when I'm singing. I think I could do it better. Or when I say, Steven!
Yeah.
Amethyst! Rose! I can't do that one as well. I don't hear her. I don't hear her yell that as much.
Uh-huh.
Keep your stance wide. Keep your body lowered as you're moving forward. Balance is the key. Right foot, left foot. Now go even faster. It's hard. My throat is trying to crap out on me. I have this tickle that won't go away.
Riggy says, we get a lot of Pearl characterization. I wish we had more with Garnet and Amethyst, especially like right after Rose died. And Riggy went on to say, there's a lot of Pearl angst about Rose, but there's 4 other gems to consider as well. Exactly. I really want to see that too. I want more development with Amethyst in general. Like, I feel like she's been neglected.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they kind of tried to give her an arc and sort of failed to close that arc. Is the arc still going? Who knows? I felt like they kind of closed it with the episode with Jasper, where Jasper got bubbled. And, yeah, or if they didn't end it there, they ended it with the couple episodes featuring Smoky Quartz. And I'm sorry, but I want more Amethyst.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she's extraordinarily important, and as of yet, the show hasn't really delved into that very much. They've spent quite a bit of time fleshing out side characters and stuff, but what about Amethyst?
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people really care about Lapis a lot. I think I have the unpopular opinion of not liking Lapis that much, or maybe it's not even dislike so much as exasperation. I want to know more about other characters.
She definitely kind of feels like the creator's pet character, and I think that this is unsurprising considering that she's based on a character Rebecca Sugar made a really long time ago, and so she's, very dear to her.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that necessarily, but I agree that I'm more interested in other characters than Lapis.
I really don't dislike her, but I'm more eager to see development with other characters. I'm super curious about Jasper. I'm really tired of the big buff gems not getting to shine, being tucked away in bubbles. Don't even get me started about bismuth. I have like a trillion thoughts about bismuth. Oh Lord.
You and half of Tumblr. I love bismuth. I made my OC a bismuth.
I know. Nikki said, I'd kind of like to see Lapis's trauma dealt with more. Like, Peridot is one of my favorites, and her motives and journey to being in the crystal gem she is now. But Lapis has not actually seen a lot of exploration. She just sort of is.
Yeah, I agree. Like, if they had done a little more in-depth stuff about Lapis, I think I would enjoy her a lot more, but she kind of falls flat to me a little bit. And maybe they are going to go a little more into it, but I feel like they kind of did those episodes already. And I do think they had some good ones, like where she meets Jasper on the ship, and it's supposed to be kind of a metaphor for confronting your abuser and everything.
Speaking of Jasper, I love Jasper. I don't like who she is as a person. I love the concept of her character. I am so desperate to see more of Jasper and Jasper's guns. But I really am so interested in that. But they've shoved her away in a bubble. Presumably we will see her at some point in the future. Please? Like,
my diamond, your diamond, my diamond. When she said that, I was like, no, don't bubble her, I need to know.
Yeah. And I thought that was so evocative. I remember how she did that little noise, that I felt tears well up in my eyes because you could just feel her frustration radiating out and feel just how out of the loop she is. And I'm like, oh my God, I really need to know more about you. Sephi said, I want to know. Can you show me? Yes.
I want to know about these crystals like me.
Michaela said, we don't get enough Amethyst, you're right. I feel like we hear a lot about her inner struggles about not being good enough, but I feel like her issues aren't thoroughly addressed. They're just kind of established and not much is done with them. Thank you! I'd really like to just see more development-y episodes about the individual characters. Like, we've gotten a ton with Steven.
You know who I think hasn't had a ton lately, who really deserves it and is really overlooked? What about Connie?
I think Friday's episode's really going to get into some Connie.
Okay, I hope so.
I don't know.
What's the description for that one?
Who's been defending each city while the gems have been away?
Uh-huh.
Jamie says, quick art question, Yams. Is that a vector layer?
No, I'm just drawing in Manga Studio, which technically, I think when you draw with the ink pen, it like starts as a vector and then it immediately rasterizes when you're done drawing it so you can erase and stuff, but Manga Studio is great. It's actually not called Manga Studio anymore, it's now called Clip Studio Paint. They kind of shoved both programs into one, but it's the same. I have been incorrectly referring to it as Manga Studio for like a year and a half or more, actually, because I was apparently using a really old version that is no longer supported. And I found this out when I had to reinstall everything for my new tablet, and I had to get the new program, and I pay a ton of money for it. And
what's it called then?
It's called Clip Studio Paint now.
Oh.
They like shoved two programs together. It used to be called Manga Studio. I don't think they no longer make one called Manga Studio.
Michaela says, I'm not sure how much the new episode will actually reveal about Connie, but it's sure to be a fun episode. Oh yeah, I'm really excited for it.
Do you think Connie and Lion together have been defending Beach City?
That's a good question. I don't know, but I'm excited to see it. You know what I'm also really excited about? This weekend's shaping up to be a really fun one. Like Saturday, we're going to the reptile show, and Sunday, I'm going to go visit my mom and help her get on board with the smartphone biz. I'm really excited to start. My mom is getting her very first smartphone this week. I bought one for her, and it should be arriving. I'm going to get it all set up and everything. And I'm excited to WhatsApp with my mom and have her send me pictures and send her pictures and stuff. I feel like that's going to be really fun. I hope it will be really fun.
I hope so too. I think it will be.
I hope she actually,
I
sends
think
me stuff.
I think worst case scenario, she's just not going to use it very much. We can hope.
Indeed.
Okay there? Ash?
Are
you okay?
My nose is rebelling. I hate it.
You hate it? I have that Tarzan song stuck in my head now. Whatever you do, I'll do it too. Show me everything, tell me how. Why do I have this burning need to be beside her? Oh, I can see there's so much to learn. It's all so new and yet so fun. Ash really likes to anally correct me on every lyric of music that I sing. I just like it to sound nice. I don't care if it's perfect.
It's never right, ever. There's always like one word that's erroneous, and I'm over here like, I twitch.
Because apparently Ash wrote all these songs, and it's personally offensive to her when I sing the lyrics
I have
incorrectly.
conducted and arranged almost every single Disney song at some point in my music career. Like, I didn't
Yeah, but they
originate
didn't
them.
sing them. They just played the music.
No, but I knew the lyrics. Jesus.
I think words are just more important to you than they are to me.
Well, something that's irritating is that often I'll try to sing along with you, and for the longest time, I thought you were changing words on purpose to throw me off.
Come on, Ash.
And I was like, that's so mean.
Why would I do that?
And then I just realized, oh, you just don't know them. Never mind. People in the chat are talking about Steven Universe shipping.
What they saying?
About how, like, ship wars are stupid, and arguing over shipping is really annoying. Sometimes people argue just for the sake of arguing. Yeah. Do you ship any of the Steven Universe characters?
A better question would be, who don't I ship?
Yeah. Steven Universe isn't really a show that I ship a lot in.
I mean, I don't spend tons of my time thinking about the couples in Steven Universe. I'm just kind of along for the ride, and I really love it when they show how gay Pearl is for Rose and things like this. But it's not a show that I do tons of fan art for outside of for cons like this. But it doesn't mean I don't really enjoy it when they do show shippy things, because a lot of times it's really queer, and I like this. Surprising nobody. People here in the chat who have read Sister Claire. What? Yamino likes queer things? What?
They are so shocked. So shocked. I mean, aside from, Garnet, I'm trying to think of if there's any ship I super care about in Steven Universe. I don't really think so.
I really like Pearl's one-sided thing. I don't even know if it was really one-sided. I think it was, but I definitely think it was different to Pearl than it was to Rose, is the impression I get. I also get the feeling that whatever Pearl wanted from Rose was not the same thing that Rose wanted from Pearl.
As far as Steven Universe is concerned, the things that I want most aren't shippy things, but just, I'm so curious about the story. Like,
I think it says so much about the quality of the story that this is a story that's like so super full of queer women, and I'm like, okay, that's good, but I want to know more about the sentient rocks and like their history and like I want to see what they look like when they mash together.
Yeah, like I'm always curious about the relationships between gems and stuff, but those relationships don't have to be romantic for me to be interested in them. I love the show so much. I'm deeply invested in the story and the characterization.
I really like seeing even just how platonic interactions go with the characters, because they're all so interesting that the way they bounce off each other is really interesting to me.
Nikki said something interesting here. She's in regards to the relationship between Rose and Pearl. Nikki said, creators have said it was not one-sided, but yeah, it was. Pearl took the relationship much more seriously than Rose did, and I go back and forth over whether Rose even understood how much she was hurting Pearl. Yeah, like, I agree with that, Nikki. I really think sometimes creators will say one thing, but it's like, then why did you write thing?
I mean, Pearl even says she chose you, like Rose was undecided.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't be like, she chose you if they had already had a thing and then, like, Rose dumped her. She would have said something like, I don't know.
Yeah,
To me, I got the impression that Pearl was waiting on Rose,
Uh-huh.
and she didn't get what she was waiting for.
I think that Pearl viewed her relationship with Rose as above what Rose had with humans, and that it was eternal versus that, these things, these little flings that Rose had with humans was just like, they were just temporary, they were fleeting, they didn't matter as much to Rose as Rose's relationship with Pearl, and then the whole thing happened with Steven, and Pearl was proven wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't know what the creators think one-sided means, but that sounds pretty flippin' one-sided to me.
Mm-hmm. Like, no matter how you slice it, they definitely had different expectations of what the relationship was going to be, and they were not on the same foot about it.
Yeah.
And that's why Pearl ended up being really, like, shell-shocked about what was going on. She was not expecting this.
And it's even implied in the episode where Steven, they're showing the Greg getting used to becoming a new father and all that stuff. It's even implied that Pearl isn't entirely sure what's happened. None of the gems are. They have not wrapped their brains around what Steven is. Like, anyway. Oh. Ay.
Not only that, but, with showing things like Pearl's reaction to learning about Lion and everything, it's obvious that Rose didn't share everything with Pearl, and Pearl thought that she was.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't really say that they were on the same level about everything when Rose was keeping stuff from her and not really seeing their relationship on the same kind of level.
Seppi made some interesting commentary here. She said, I feel like the issue for Rose and Pearl is like, Sapphire and Ruby were like basically the first time gems were in love, right? So Rose was kind of approaching love the way humans in the zoo did. Like, she didn't have any understanding of exclusivity yet, but a Pearl is always devoted to just one, so she had a framework for that. Michaela said, I don't know, Seth. I feel like it's a definite possibility that other gems have felt affection for one another, but I feel like in the society run by diamonds, relationships aren't really appropriate. They don't have time for it, I suppose, especially not between two different gems. You see, Michaela, I don't even know about that.
What about that song that the Diamonds just sang?
They loved her. They loved Pink Diamond. I think Ruby and Sapphire are two interesting cases in that they come from two very, insular sects of gem society. Sections. I realized.
Say what?
I realized how that was probably sounding. I got to work on my tongue. It's a little bit not wanting to cooperate. Anyway, I feel like they were from very insular parts of gem society. Ruby's a soldier, and Sapphire is a devoted servant in another capacity. And maybe the concept of having such affection with another gem was completely alien to both of them because it was discouraged in those particular sections of society. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist elsewhere. The Diamonds clearly know what love is. They loved Pink Diamond. Look how upset Blue is still over what happened to Pink. Sephi said maybe only diamonds are allowed to love because, they seem to view themselves as the only ones capable of real feeling or real rationality or something. That's interesting. You know who also knew the concept of affection pretty well? Was able to at least recognize it? Lapis.
What did she say?
During the episode Hit the Diamond, when she sees Ruby chatting up Sapphire, they ask, what are they doing? And she says,
flirting.
So if the creators are trying to imply that affection is kind of an alien concept amongst gems, they're not doing a very good job of it. Can I have the power cable, please? Oh my gosh, yes.
Just a sec.
Roque Reptile makes a good point. Like, maybe Lapis picked up the idea of affection from that manga Amethyst gave her.
Or what about Camp Pining Heart?
Camp Pining Hearts,
Yeah.
or having been in the mirror and privy to various, conversations and things for thousands of years. But still, like, the gems have colonized multiple worlds. I feel like affection is not a completely unknown concept. I think it's one that might be discouraged, like I said, amongst particular kinds of gems. But, yeah. The episode where we see Yellow Diamond and Blue Diamond talking about Pink Diamond, I really wasn't expecting to have any kind of affection at all for Yellow Diamond, the diamonds in general, but I couldn't help but feel for them a little bit.
I think that's the point.
I was about to say, yeah. Nikki says, yellow and blue are great parallels to amethyst and pearl respectively as well, repression versus dwelling. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That is a nice point. I see. I really like Rose's arm here. Your line work is so pretty.
Thank you.
I love it.
This is coming out so much better than I thought. Like the line art is coming out really nice and clean, almost always on the first try. I must be really on my game tonight.
Yeah, girl. I wonder if I'll feel like biking when we get home. Depends on what time we get home. It's already past the line.
Oh, God.
I think if you can, you should finish this and let's go.
Yeah. What if I just do the inking for now? Ash, I don't want to be here past 1 a.m.
I don't think we'll be here that late.
I don't know, Ash.
I think you should try it, like, see how far you get with the flats and stuff.
I don't know, Ash.
Good night, Kay Brown.
Good night.
Good night.
Would you want to do another stream to do the colors and stuff?
Yeah, or maybe I could complete it as soon as possible so we have more time to, get it printed. I could do it tomorrow, but I hate to stream without you.
We have a page to work on tomorrow, so it can't be tomorrow. We were planning a stream for Friday anyway. Could do it then.
Could do. My throat's really itchy now. I'll try drinking some more tea. I want to avoid that if I can because I hate how it tastes.
I don't mind how it tastes. It's one of the only cherry things I can have.
I think her hat's a little too small, doesn't it? What have I done?
Rogue Reptile said another good show you might don't like. Okay. Troll Hunters. It's on Netflix right now. I saw that and it looked like, the main character looked like Hiccup cloned. So tell me, does anyone else have any opinions on that? Not that yours are invalid, Rogue Reptile. Like, what are your opinions on the show? What do you like about it? I'm basically just asking if anyone has watched it yet. Oh, it's by Guillermo del Toro. Whoa, that piques my interest. Because I didn't know that. Eleanor, what was that show that Olivia was recommending?
Wizards or something?
Wizards?
Magicians?
Magic people.
Magic paper?
Magicians. Has anyone seen Magicians? Our Pathfinder GM was recommending it, and I'm just curious to see what other people think. Stephanie, you do not even need to tell me that One Day at a Time is good. One Day at a Time is not good. One Day at a Time is excellent. It is excellent, and
I love it.
I haven't finished it yet. I started watching it on my own, and I watched like 5 episodes. Then Elena and Sarah started watching it, and they caught up to me. And then we watched like 3 more episodes or 4 together, and we still have to finish it. And like, we're all trying to resist watching it on our own so we can watch it together. It is so excellent. I have Laura to thank for recommending it to me. She freaked out at me about it, and I knew instantly based upon her love of it that I had to watch it, and that I knew that I would also love it. And true enough, I did. It's such a good show. I hope it gets a second season. Riggy says, I have a question. How do you handle royalties when it comes to selling fan art at cons while avoiding copyright issues? Do you want me to take that one on?
Sure.
Honestly, Riggy, at cons, because you're selling like a very limited quantity of something of your own making, most people most creators, I mean, big name creators, turn a blind eye.
It's not like you're mass producing something and you're pretending that it's official merchandise. If you do that, they're much more likely to get upset at you. But if it's a single creator selling a fan art that they drew, people really don't generally care. Especially if it's in person at a convention as opposed to like mass producing it or printing it on demand on a website sort of thing.
A lot of the fan art, too, falls under the category of parody. And parody is exempt from copyright. At least in like 99% of cases. Generally, what we're saying is most big name creators don't care about what's sold at cons.
And by big name, I mean like
Marvel, DC, Disney.
Yeah, Disney tends to care more, but they also, they can't keep up with everybody. So
yeah, home stuff. I know Andrew Hussey.
That's not a big name creator. Like he might be famous, but
yeah,
it's more of a problem when you start selling fan art of things like Undertale. Although Toby Fox did give permission to do that now, as long as it's not that kind of mass-produced stuff. Basically, as long as it's not a small press creator who wouldn't be hurt by, somebody making a couple bucks off a print, I don't feel bad about it, and they generally won't care or notice.
It's kind of different, like Roke Reptile said, like with the Together Breakfast t-shirt. That's a little bit different. Like, we still sell that print at cons. It's one of our most popular prints. People really recognize it. But having it on a t-shirt, it's a little bit different.
It's not because of where it's on. It's because it was on a print-on-demand site.
That's what I mean. Like, having it on a site like that, it's not a big surprise that Eleanor received a DCMA notice.
Not only that, but there are people whose entire job, and it might have had nothing to do with the crew of Steven Universe, probably Cartoon Network hires people specifically to search tags for their copyrights and automatically send out takedown notices for things like that. So, yeah. It's not necessarily a sign that the people who make the show are upset about it. It's probably more like just Cartoon Network trying to protect its brand. And because the Together Breakfast print was not a parody, it was just pretty much a straight up fan art referencing the show. They knew that the site would take it down, so.
We've had a couple people ask us if they could sell Sister Claire prints.
I mean, I guess it would really depend, like, if you were mass producing it or just selling, like, you know, sketches or whatever. I would say go for it because honestly, I don't think that you're going to sell more than we do.
Yeah.
It's our comic is not so massively popular that I think you would make a huge mint selling fan art of our characters, but
I also don't think, like, it's one thing to not sell prints of something, but you can't tell someone not to go and commission.
yeah, like I would be ecstatic if somebody requested a commission of a Sister Claire character. I would hope you would tell me about it and show it to me because I want to see. But
yeah,
I'm not going to say don't draw my characters for commissions because, you know, some creators are upset about that kind of thing, but I'm not. I'm just flattered.
And sometimes they're like, why didn't they ask me? And it's like, well, maybe you had a long line. Or maybe they're terrified of you.
Or maybe you weren't at the con.
Yeah, like...
Or maybe they just wanted to see it in a different style. There's a million reasons, and
exactly.
I'm not upset. I mean, people have asked me to draw characters from comics that are not mine.
Mm-hmm.
really good, dear.
Thank you. These roses are not really coming out how I want, but that's okay. I don't care.
I like the way the roses look.
I was trying to get them more on model, but I think it would take me a while to learn how to.
Yeah, they're fine.
Ay. I'm sure in the Crooniverse handbook there's like a guide to how to do it.
Nikki asks, possibly a strange question, but did y'all see the Super Bowl Totino's commercial?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes, I did.
Everybody is talking about it.
I watched it with my boss, and we would both cry laughing by the end of it. It's such a good commercial. What's your name? I've never had one. I think that was one of my favorite parts.
Was that actually played during the Super Bowl?
Was it? It seemed really long for a... No, it was an SNL skit, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an SNL skit, but like people keep calling it the commercial like it was really in the Super Bowl, and I'm just confused because I didn't watch the Super Bowl. Do I look like someone who watches the Super Bowl?
Nikki said, I'm just outside Atlanta and work at a restaurant that sells wings. I never want to hear the word football again after last Sunday. You poor boy. I'm so sorry.
I don't think I'm going to get to color this, and there's a reason why. I want to do a detailed frame behind them like I did. But that means I'm not going to get to color this. Okay. I want to show you guys something really cool. So I'm going to take a ruler and I'm going to make it a symmetrical ruler. Let's see. I want the focal point to be like here. Maybe like right there. Okay. Okay. This is a really fun way to do very easy and detailed borders. Use this symmetry ruler and just go to town. I don't know if six-sided is really what I want to do though. I think four corners is better. So forget this. Let's make another one. And make it just four for now. Oh, I'm glad you guys like it. I loved this technique when I'm sure I'm not the first person to come up with it. I'm sure a lot of people have used it, but I kind of figured it out on my own and I was like, oh, this is so useful. What's wrong, dear?
I'm just tired.
Well, I can always work on this another time. If you're too tired, we can head back. I love this because I can just doodle whatever and it'll be symmetrical and look cool.
Mm-hmm. It's so pretty.
Thank you.
Oh,
What is it?
tomorrow does UNC play Duke? Oh,
What's wrong?
that means campus is going to be.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
I might have gone a little nuts with the details. I maybe should have left a little more breathing space for some of these shapes.
Oh, dang.
Hmm?
We need to go home soon.
What's going on?
The drastic temperature change comes on the heels of a line of storms that are expected to move into the triangle beginning at about 2 a.m. The region is under a marginal risk for severe weather, and the storms could bring strong winds, hail, and the potential for an isolated tornado.
Hey, and that wraps up this live stream.
That's still for a couple hours away, but yeesh.
Oh, maybe you're not going to have to go to work tomorrow.
Oh, I'm sure I'll have to go to work.
I bet Art Nouveau artists really wish they had this back then.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay, are you almost done here?
I'm just going nuts with this. I can stop anytime.
Please.
Okay.
I'm gonna go home. It's almost midnight.
This is my favorite part.
You can do more with this, I promise.
I know.
You still have to draw this in the picture.
Oh God, no,
I
no!
told you.
Ah, I forgot. I have other work. I just got really excited.
Oh, your cable's starting to fray here too. You do electric tape it. Kayla said, the symmetry has become insanity.
It is insanity. That's okay. I'll figure something out with it later. But thank you for coming, y'all.
Yes,
I think
thank you.
on that note, we should probably say good night.
We should probably say goodnight, Elena says as she continues to fiddle with the picture. Elena.
Thank you for coming. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.